I want to apologize to every one of you because college football officiating is so bad right now. We got a major issue in the sport, and I think I know why. So, yesterday was one of the worst officiated days I can remember in college football, and I have eat and slept and breathed this stuff for as long as I could crawl. I don't know that I've seen it collectively worse than it was yesterday. I'm going to show you a lot of the garbage that you were forced to consume yesterday. But first, I want to play something to you because it piqued my ears a little bit. It's Kirby Smart after Georgia's game against Kentucky last night. And then I'm going to tell you what I think he's hinting at. Colin, roll it.
I watched games today, and it was like crazy. And we're higher than we've ever been. I watch all these games; they're higher than they've ever been. And I'm like, what's going on? Like we have been a low penalty, smart team, and I can't figure it out. I don't know if it's the way it's being called. Is it being called tighter? Because everybody's got more, but we certainly got to reel it in some.
So I'm looking at Hal in the live chat, who apparently just wants to be disagreeable. I said yesterday was one of the worst officiating days I've ever seen. He said, stop it. No, it wasn't. Well, brother, I brought the video evidence. In just a second, hold on, Colin, in just a second, I'm going to roll it for all of you to see. Let me tell you what happened. Tua Tagovailoa got concussed Thursday night, and everyone freaked out. That's what happened. And Tua did not get concussed on a roughing the passer penalty. He was running, scrambling, hit his head on someone's knee, and concussed himself. Everyone saw it. Everyone listened to folks trash football the following morning. Everyone listened. Suburban moms listened and got scared more than they already are to let their kids play youth football. And everyone freaked out about participation levels of the sport, as they should be concerned with. But then I'll tell you what else happened. I will guarantee you I would bet money on this. Friday night, Friday afternoon, Friday morning, there were conference calls with a lot of these league offices in college, and there were conference calls with a lot of these officiating crews, and they were told, we got to emphasize this stuff more. We've got to go above and beyond. There are legal ramifications. There are legal eyes on us, and we got to make sure that we make it abundantly clear we are protecting quarterbacks. We're protecting players in this game. That's great in theory. But if it comes at the expense of properly enforcing your rules, you either got to do a better job of enforcing your rules or you've got to redefine the rules. Because as it stands right now, no one has the slightest clue what the rules of football are. So yesterday, let me just roll through what happened yesterday. The Indiana-UCLA game. We got an edge player, puts a perfect form tackle on Garbers, the quarterback there. No helmet to helmet. It's just called roughing the passer. Like this, he's not even passing. Blackledge pointed out, it's just a sack. Oregon, same thing. Giovanni McCoy, his throw is interrupted. His throwing hand hits the helmet of the defender. He doesn't tackle him to the ground, nothing forcible. He's flagged, roughing the passer. This play in the Georgia game, Javon Walker put such a textbook hit on the quarterback, it should be teaching tape. Instead, it was flagged. Why? Well, because the quarterback fell hard, I guess. This was called targeting, and the helmet hit the dude in the butt. I don't really know what I never thought those sentences would come out of my mouth, but they did. That right there, targeting, folks, targeting. Georgia, Kentucky again last night. There was face mask called on this play, and it was called on Kentucky. Do you understand what I just said? That right, Kentucky's guy was beheaded, and face mask was actually called elsewhere on the field. I was at this game yesterday. This is a pick six that changes the course of the game. And Nussmeier, no longer a quarterback, because once the ball's picked, he's not a quarterback, gets sought out, knocked down with someone's hands on his shoulder, and because he does a great job of acting there on the ground, he is flagged. There's a flag. That gets drawn back. The interception counts, but the points don't. It was a horrific day yesterday. I didn't even show you half of what we could show you. And so this again, college football is the greatest sport. College football is the greatest sport on the face of the earth. I love it. I will fight for it. It is a multi-billion-dollar sport with the most nickel and dime officiating arm that you could ever imagine. We are so far behind on accountability and standard of officiating. I'm not saying these are bad people. In fact, I don't even think they're doing the wrong thing. I think they've been put in a no-win position as well. Because I will guarantee you, after what happened with Tua the other night, I will guarantee you there were Friday conference calls with those league offices, in those league offices talked to their officiating crews, and they just flat out told them, guys, there are eyes on us that aren't normally on us. We have got to enforce stuff. We've got to make it abundantly clear we're protecting the players. Well, you're not. You're just screwing the players because there were games decided. There were outcomes decided on some of these calls yesterday. And imagine being these coaches. You only get 12 of these games. Like I said, it's not like game 3 of a 4-game set, Braves Reds in mid-July, and oh, bang, bang, call at third base goes against us. We'll get them tomorrow. You get 12 of these games. There is no more LSU South Carolina. Like, that's it. And so Shane Beamer's got to sit there, get his team ready, build up the entire fan base, place is on fire, you're up 17-0, it's a dogfight in the fourth quarter, and that garbage decides the game in all likelihood. And then you know you're going to get fined by the league office if you tell the truth. And so what's your recourse? Your recourse is, well, you file a bunch of grievances. Best case scenario, the league office says what they should all the time, which is our officials screwed up. And oh, but by the way, we can't change the outcome of the game. So you still lose, but here we'll stroke you on the cheek and say we messed up. What do you tell the players? What does Kirby Smart tell Walker? That's a perfect hit. That should be put on teaching tape. Face mask off to the side. You didn't drive up through him. You didn't spear him. You didn't leave the crown of your helmet. And because the guy fell backwards a little bit too hard, it's roughing the passer. And you can tell me, well, he drove him to the ground. I look at the Oregon tape. Dude didn't even get driven to the ground. And the contact was so sudden with the throw that the quarterback's throwing arm hit the defender in the helmet. And he's still flagged. So coaches get paid a lot of money for this. I'm not necessarily saying feel sorry for them. I'm just saying this is a great sport that deserves a whole lot better than what we have in officiating right now. And if you want to know what my answer is employ officials and standardize it nationally, like Gundy talked about the other day. Mike Gundy went on a rant because he's so institutionalized that he gets to say whatever he wants. Mac Brown at North Carolina is the same way. Saban was the same way at Bama. It's really important for those coaches who have nothing to worry about to speak up about stuff like that, because most of them can't. Because most of them are too young to do it. Mike Gundy said, we were getting flagged today for stuff that I know with the Big 12 crew we wouldn't be flagged for. So I was just trying to find out, is there some standardized rule book out there, or do we just have conference rule books? It's an insane problem to have for a sport that is a multi-billion-dollar sport. We got guys, they're not full-time officials. They're working at a car dealership Monday through Thursday. I'm not even saying it's their fault. It shouldn't be in their hands. It should not be in their hands to screw up. There's no accountability. There is no answering for anything after a game, and it's pathetic, and there should be. And if you want to tell me, well, Josh, you can't do that. These are just part-time officials. Make them full-time. But whatever you got to do, whatever you got to change in the legalese and change in your books to make someone accountable to answer for a critical part of the game as officiating, do it. They don't want to because it's another headache that they don't want to take on. And as a result, you're just forced to accept that. And by the way, who do you complain to? The commissioner of the sport, obviously. Oh, there isn't one. There is no centralized leadership. Cool. Great. Wonderful.